Morning Fish Keepers, Cam here from thefishroom.co.nz. We've done it again. Let's celebrate. We've made it to Friday. Congratulations, team. I'm very proud of each and every one of you. Let's celebrate with coffee. I've very literally just made that and it's still really, really hot. But good, surprising enough. All right, got plenty in here today, but I want to start this with an apology. I try to make these as less salesy and scummy as possible, but I feel that today's coffee date might be quite salesy because we've had some really cool stuff coming in the last few days, and obviously the new sales have started this month and all that kind of stuff. So I normally try to keep it as unsalesy as possible, but this one might turn out a little bit like that, which I'm sorry for. So first of all, shop hours, again, 11 till 4:30, Monday to Friday. We're closed on the weekends. We are closed on public holidays, but you can shop with us online 24 hours a day at fishroom.co.nz, and we offer free shipping on pretty much everything, excluding frozen food, live animals, so that includes snails, fish, and live insects. So that one is nice and simple. I just want to talk about, again, how we ship our plants. So the majority of the plants we send in satchels. So I can show you a satchel now because it's within reaching distance. And just your normal courier satchel bags, as opposed to boxes. There's a reason behind this. 99% of the time, maybe not quite 99, but a very high majority of the time, these things turn up overnight. Boxes or cartons, whatever you want to call them, are normally 3 to 5 days target. So if we were to send it on a Wednesday, which is generally when we send our plants, in a satchel, Thursday, sometimes Friday, they turn up. Generally, everything's sweet. If we send it in a box, 3 to 5 days means 3 days becomes Saturday, nothing's yet delivered on Saturday, which means then it possibly Monday or a Tuesday, which is then becoming nearly a 5, 6, 7 day turnaround of a plant being in transit. Now, I've done a lot of tests, and I know that a lot of plants can handle some time in transit. There's some that can handle 2 weeks, no dramas. There's some that can handle 3 or 4 weeks in a plastic bag with no dramas at all. Like I've left plants in a plastic bag, just put them on the windowsill, and they've been absolutely fine. I've left plants in pots and put them in plastic bags, put them on the counters, all that kind of stuff, and just sort of try and see how long they go. There's some plants that don't last longer than a couple of days. Glossostigma is one of them. It absolutely hates being transported. Only lasts a couple of days in transit. But like some ambulia in a pot can last 3 to 4 weeks. Java fern can last 3 to 4 weeks. So there's some that can last some time. But the best practice, as far as I believe, is trying to get it out of my shop into your house as quick as possible, which is why we use the satchels. I'm also aware that because of us doing it that way, it loses a little bit of potential structural integrity by not using a box. It's probably the best way of putting it. But for the very few times we have complaints about people's plants turning up damaged, it kind of weighs itself out using the satchels over the boxes. So I just want to clarify why we use satchels over boxes. It's basically a speed-based thing as opposed to that being said, sometimes we get massive orders and they have to go in a box, or plants get ordered with other items, they have to go in a box and stuff like that. So it's not that we specifically just always use satchels, it's just that sometimes we do. Sometimes we use the boxes, but the majority of the satchels. So that's just a wee explanation on that. Good morning, everybody that has said hello. Thank you for joining us. I'm very happy that you've come here with us. The next thing is just a quick reminder that we do a $50 voucher draw each month if you leave us a review on either Google, Facebook, or one of the products that you have bought. It doesn't matter which platform you use, preferably for us if you use Google, then Facebook, and then the product you bought, but it doesn't really matter which way you go. We do the draw every single month, so if you do a review once a month, you're in the draw for once a month every time. Okay, so like I said before, I didn't want to get too salesy, but this is probably where we're going to get into that point. We have now made available some Java moss and some Java fern. We haven't had them available for quite some time. Both of them this week came in looking really, really nice. The Java moss were good-sized bunches, and the Java fern were really nice, big, healthy plants. So get amongst them while you can, because they don't normally last very long. We can normally only supply it for about 2, sometimes 3 weeks before we buy the supplier out. So if you're looking for some Java fern or some Java moss, they're available on our website now. It's well and truly worth getting to them as fast as you possibly can, because they don't normally last very long with us. Let's cross some things off while we're going here. We are basically doing orders for fish nearly every week. I'll rephrase that, we're doing orders for fish every single week. So if there's something you're specifically looking for, please let me know, send us a message on Facebook or an email or whatever, and we'll write it down, and if I can find it, as soon as I find it, I'll get it in and let you know. So this week we've got some electric yellows for some people, we've got some fire parrots for some people as well. These are fish that we don't normally carry, but because we're doing fish orders, we can use it to fill the box up, so it's not the end of the world. And if you live locally, and if you want to collect your fish the day that the fish arrives, we'll give you a 10% discount. Basically, if you get it straight from the box, straight to your hands, and it doesn't touch our water, then we'll drop 10% off that for you, just nice and easy. No need to pay for retail when it's not, we're not going into our tanks, we're not medicating them, we're not treating them, nothing like that. So in and out, if you're looking for something, we can do it that way as well. As far as new fish goes, we released a few more fish this week. Some of the ones of note is the clown loaches. They are very chunky and they're a very, very nice size. A few months back, I bought the slightly smaller ones. We had a few issues with them and we lost the majority of them. This time around, I bought the bigger ones, which cost a little bit more, but they've turned out to be far healthier fish. So moving forward from this point onwards, we're always going to buy the slightly bigger ones that we can find, because generally speaking, they do come in as a nicer fish, less sickly and nice and chunky, nice and healthy. So they've come through quarantine or the isolation period absolutely fine. We held on to them for a month before we released them, just to give it extra time, because clown loaches are pretty prone to white spot and other various sort of diseases. So they're in obviously the quarantine facilities for 4 or 6 weeks, and then we've just held them back here for another 4 weeks, making sure everything was feeding, everything was looking chunky, everything was good, and they're all looking spectacular. So if you're looking for some clown loaches, these ones in here at the moment are definitely well and truly worth buying. I think we've got 10 or 12 off the top of my head, I can't quite remember, but they're very, very nice. Speaking of very, very nice fish, the German blue rams that we have in are phenomenal. They are looking beautiful. They are sparkly. They're almost fully coloured. They're a really good size. It was a really nice chunky female that I showed on the video the other day, which has already found its new home. The German rams at the moment are absolutely amazing. They're well and truly worth at least coming and having a look, or if I'm just buying blindly, they are just phenomenal. They're such nice looking fish. I'm more than impressed with these current German rams, and same with the gold rams. They're also looking really good. They're a really nice size. They're a great selling size. Sometimes rams come in a little bit small, but these Germans and these golds have come in at a beautiful size. We've also got some Bolivians at the back as well, which are coming quite nice, but they're not ready for another couple of weeks. Good morning, Corey and Brian. So if you're looking for dwarf cichlids, currently the German rams are beautiful and the golden rams are looking stunning as well. So well and truly worth having a look at them. Because we have cracked into a new month, we've got a new fish of the month. This month is the humble glow light tetra. These are cool little fish. They have glowing eyes and a little glowing stripe along the side of them. If you have not kept glow lights before or haven't seen glow lights before, they're a schooling species. With any schooling species, the more you have, the better they become. They go really, really well in a planted community tank or just a community tank in general. They are not particularly picky. They're relatively hardy. In fact, I'll rephrase that. They are really, really hardy. And as they get older, the orange streak and the orange eyes intensify on them, and they just give a really nice little flash of colour through an aquarium. So I've got some at home. I do like them. We've got about 30 or 40 here ready to go. So we've got them as our fish of the month this month. And as far as plant of the month goes, we have Ambulia. Again, a ridiculously hardy plant. Can be grown floating, can be grown planted. Works really well for protecting fry, guppy fry, platy fry, that kind of stuff, because it gets really bushy. The fly hide into it. I suspect gourami fry would work really well with it as well. It's a fantastic plant for nutrient reduction. I quite often plant a few Ambulias at any time that I'm setting up a new planted tank, because it roots really quickly, it grows really quickly, and it absorbs so much muck out of the water while you're cycling and while you're setting it up. And then once it's done its thing and you through your algae cycle, you through your nitrogen cycle, I just rip it out and let it be. That's a phenomenally good plant for that. We sell a metric truckload of it. It's a really popular plant, so we've got that on special this month as well. So fish of the month is Glow Light, and plant of the month is Ambulia. Over here, I've got a few props that I'm going to show off very soon. I just wanted to quickly run through a couple of the sales items that we've got on special this month. We've got the Revolution micro and macronutrients. We've got the Sierra Florina veggie flakes, which is a flake that we feed here in the shop to all of our fish. That's the flake that we use. I like the balance of vegetables in it, and like mollies, platies, guppies, and stuff like that. They really enjoy that vegetable base, and we're obviously feeding a lot of brine shrimp, feeding a lot of rapashi as well. So I think that combination is going really well, which is bringing out a lot of colours in our fish. But we've got them on special as well, and we've also got the rapashi veggie burger for you reptile keepers. I think it's the only non-fish related thing we've got on special this month. So just a few of the things that we've got on sale for the month. I didn't bring them over because I've got some cool things to show you. I didn't want to get too overwhelmed to myself. And last but not least, we've got the insects back again. So white worms, micro worms, soldier fly larvae, wingless fruit fly. The only things we don't have at the moment are crickets and grasshoppers. They're due in another 4 to 6 weeks, but everything else is ready to rock and roll. So if you're looking for some live food for your fish or your reptiles, mealworms are back as well. We've got all of that stuff ready to rock and roll again. So yeah, that was newly released this week. Ambulia is one of my favorite. Yeah, it's brilliant. And yes, there are some fish that very much enjoy eating ambulia. I would too. It looks pretty soft, green, and lush. And in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, we're going to have a new frozen product in our freezer here. It's one that I'm pretty excited about. I think it's going to do some really good thing for most people's fish, particularly smaller fish. I don't want to say too much more in case it takes a little bit longer, but I am very excited for it. We're going to have a decent supply of it. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I'm pretty excited about having it. So once we get it here, I'll make a bit of a hoo-ha about it. But yeah, that's coming up soon. Have I had any feedback on this CO2 unit? Yes, I have had 3 lots of feedback from it. I've had one person that absolutely loves it, says they can't get enough of it, and they will be basically a user of it until they decide not to have planted tanks again. I've heard another feedback of someone that's, again, really, really happy with it, said it was really easy to use and they liked how it worked for their planted system. And I've had another feedback from someone that said they absolutely hated it. It was ridiculously hard to tune, and it didn't do what they needed it to do. And they will be very dubious about whether they're going to continue using it. So I've had 3 bits of feedback from that, all of them quite constructive. Underlining from all of it has also been that I think the packet says it's meant to last 45 days, and they all reckon it only lasts about a month. So that's definitely a theme that has come through from the 3 people that have given me feedback regarding the CO2 unit. 2 have been astronomically excited. 1 has not been so much. I know it has its limitations, like it is basically set for smaller aquariums. Whether or not this person had it on a bigger tank, I can't quite remember, but it's definitely got its limitations on the size aquarium. The Blackwater tank that we're setting up over there somewhere, I'm going to set one up onto it as well, so I want to have a web play myself and see how it goes, so I can give you a bit of first-hand personal experience. But yeah, so all we've got so far is 2 have absolutely loved it. 1 hasn't loved it, but the general theme of it is that the 45 days of the mixture isn't quite true to form, and it's closer to 30 days. But that's all I can give you at the moment. Obviously, we pulled one apart. I really liked how it constructed. I really liked how it felt, and I think it's a good feeling product. But that's the general gist of how it worked so far. I think they're only good for about 100-litre aquarium. I might be wrong, but it's kind of in that ballpark. So if you're looking at something bigger, I think a pressurized CO2 unit might be smarter if you're sort of getting in towards a 200 to 300 litres. But I think it seems very, very suitable for your nano aquariums and your smaller ones. So yeah, that's just the general vibe and the general feeling that I've got from it. Also talked to the supplier, and he did the same thing. They're more suitable for the smaller units than the bigger aquariums. So I hope that has. I should have put that up to start with. I hope that has helped you a little bit on that, Carrie. All right. So now I've got 2 really exciting things to tell you all about. I'll show you all about. Earlier in the week, I showed everybody that we had the Aplico ceramics stuff in. So I'm going to show some of these off because I think they're stunning. So here's one here. So these feel really nice. They look really nice. They just seem to be constructed ridiculously nicely. If I can get them onto the camera properly, you'd probably enjoy them as well. So this is the small in nature. I can see this just quite nicely being tucked under a piece of wood or something like that in your aquarium, kind of like that, and just blending in really nicely, and you're not even sort of knowing that it's there. So that's the small nature, and this is the large nature. So pen, it's a little bit longer than a biro pen. Again, feels really nice in the hand. Feels solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to break on you. It looks really nice. I think these are absolutely phenomenally stunning. So this is the large nature. Yes, we are currently looking at getting some other CO2 systems going at the moment. We're just waiting on pricing and availability and all that kind of stuff. But I'm definitely working on getting some CO2 gear into the shop. Yeah, that'd be a great hiding for big loaches. And so this is a magma rock. Again, you could just situate this somewhere in an aquarium, put some plants around it, or some wood, or some rocks, or something like that. And I think these would just blend in. When the supplier first offered these to me, I was a little bit dubious. I'm not a huge fan of ornaments. I'm more about trying to work with natural substance, which is why we've got no ornaments in the shop until we got these. I've been very dubious about any ornaments. You can talk to pretty much all of my suppliers. I've all told them no when they started talking about ornaments and fake plants and stuff like that, because I just don't want to borrow them. But as soon as I got these into my hands, I was more than impressed with them. So yeah, and so this is a medium natural. So again, it's a lot like a tree stump. You have to butt it up against the back of your aquarium quite easily, or that way against your aquarium, or in some wood twigs or something like that. And I think these will just blend in really, really nicely. You can beat a good pirate ship, Cameron. There's no chance I'm ever getting a pirate ship. I'm sorry, mate. Not having one at all. And this in particular has been my favorite one so far. So these are the leaves. They come in a 3-pack. I think, let's use the book, As you can see here, I think that'll be a fantastic little opening for fry to hide in, or potentially small enough for maybe even dwarf cichlids could dig out a little bit. For dwarf cichlids to spawn in, I think this would be amazing for coolie loaches. I'm really, really impressed, in particular by these leaves. I really like these. I'm probably going to open up a few boxes and put some of these scattered around all the shop sales tanks. In particular, these ones in the rocks, because I know from experience that trying to get plecos and whatnot out of logs can be a real pain in the bum when you're trying to sell them, but these will just lift straight up, fish will move away. So I think these are really cool. These leaves are phenomenal. So these are Ukrainian made. So it was a family business over in Ukraine. From all accounts, I believe that their factory might have been hit with a bomb just recently. So I don't know how the production of that is going to work at the moment. Obviously, some pretty bad stuff going on there at the moment. But we've got plenty of these currently in New Zealand, and we've got plenty of these in stock. So I think these in particular, these leaves are really, really cool. I can imagine just sort of having them like that, and then even putting some leaf litter over top of them, they'll just blend in so phenomenally well. So these are absolutely gorgeous. I really like them. There's not one of the products so far that I've opened and played with that I have not liked. So I think they'll be an absolutely phenomenal addition to anybody's aquarium, whether you're looking at breeding stuff or just using them as a bit of decor. I think they're phenomenally cool. And of course, we have free shipping on them. Best way to buy them is there's 2 4-packs. I think it's Nature and Natural. They come in Nature and the chocolates. They come in a 4-pack, so it works out ridiculously cheap to buy them as a 4-pack if you're looking to spawn stuff. But they are really, really cool. I'm more than happy with them. So that's basically the product that we're opening up this week. Try and open up a product every week. And just for fun, we're going to do another one because these came in this week as well, which I am more than happy with. So I haven't had a proper chance to give this a proper look through because I've been far too busy packing orders. But this one here is the one that I've decided to keep for myself. So I have opened it, had a wee look around. So we'll just highlighted a few pictures in here that I thought were really cool. Diamond tetras. a bunch of cardinals. Isn't it stunning that these are just photos in the natural environment of the fish that we keep? Oops, watch my fingers. Green neons. More green neons. This is just some phenomenal work. This is an amazing book. Rummy nose tetras. Now let's just flip through to some more. So like I said, we've got 9 of these available because I kept one. We ordered 10. Into the Corridora section. How cool is this? This is just some amazing artwork, and the book itself feels really good. There's some brilliant information in it. It's just, really cool. So we've got these ready to go if anybody is interested in one. Earth Eaters. So I think we must be close to 500 pages, which isn't bad. Severums. I'm hoping to have a chance to sit down and have a cup of coffee and just do a bit of reading of this sometime the next day or two. Some more Sevs. But it's just phenomenal. Honestly, it's chocolate cichlid fish that we used to have here. Haven't seen them for a long time. Rumoured to be some down in Christchurch, but I have not got any further than a rumour. What else? Festivums. Got some of them sitting in the tanks here for sale at the moment. This book is just amazing. It's got some really cool stuff in it. So if you're into aquarium textbooks, this is definitely one for you. Rams. You get the gist. It is a brilliant book. It's nice and thick. There's some good stuff in it. So if that's what you're all about, get into it. We've managed to price it so it's about $80 cheaper to buy it from us than what it is to buy it overseas. Obviously, we had to buy in bulk, which was fine. It means we've got a stock of them ready to go. Tried to make it worthwhile for people in New Zealand wanting to buy it, so it's cheaper for you to buy it here locally than what it is to buy it from Amazon or directly from the website sort of stuff as well. So it's not a cheap book, but it's a very cool book. It's not a cheap book to buy overseas. So that it's $199.99. So it's a couple $100. But like I said, we tried to price it so it's still cheaper for you to buy it locally than what it is to buy it from overseas. Well and truly worth it. I really like it, and I'm going to be very happy when I get a chance to sit down with a cup of coffee and just to read through that because it is phenomenal. If you missed it, we interviewed the author, Ivan McColgy. Must have been last Sunday for World Aquarium Day, so it's up on our YouTube channel if you want to check it out. We talk about his book and his artwork and a whole bunch of other stuff, but it's a really cool, down-to-earth guy, and that book is just phenomenal. I think you should talk to your missus about it for your birthday, buddy. It'll be a well and truly good investment. It is phenomenal. So I've got one more thing. This is a big thank you from me to everybody out there. Earlier this week, we cracked over the 10,000 order mark. It's been something was actually mentioned to me a while ago. Someone made an order and said you're getting close to it, and I'd never really thought about it until then. But it's quite a phenomenal feat that we've got to 10,000 orders. So I thank every single one of you that has done an order with us between now and the last 7 or 8 years or whenever it was we started. Really appreciate it. Your support definitely doesn't go unnoticed. Without you guys buying stuff from us, I can't do this, and I can't read cool fish books and call it work and get my hands wet all day long and play with aquariums and talk to you guys about fishing and all that. So it is truly appreciated, and I really do. It means a lot to me that you guys have supported us through to 10,000. So thank you very much. It means a lot to me. So I'm going to go now. I've got some orders to pack, and hopefully I can find some time to read this book. So I hope you guys have a really good day. Enjoy your Friday, team. Have a good one. Happy fish keeping, and catch you later.